Eric, ready?
Ready.
Okay, today we're going to talk about our new Colorscaping system from WAC. So this is going to be an RGB WW product of ours for a landscape that's going to work on a smart transformer. What it's going to do is this smart transformer is going to take Wi-Fi signal or hardwired Ethernet connection into it in order to get network connectivity. Now, in order to send a signal to the individual fixture, it's going to work on a standard 14.2, 12.2, 10.2, just your normal landscape stranded wire that's either new or existing already. Now what it's going to do is it's going to send a signal over that line. It's called PLC, power line communication. And so it's going to send that waveform, and on that waveform there's going to be these micro signals. And those micro signals are going to tell each fixture specifically what to do, and each one is going to be individually addressable. So what that means is if you had 10 fixtures in a line, all wired in series, you're going to be able to replace those 10 fixtures with our Colorscaping path fixtures, for example, and be able to speak to them individually without changing the existing wiring. So that's a big deal. The other big deal here is going to be zone 2. So that all that was on zone 1, zone 2 is going to give you access to your legacy fixtures. So your regular 12-volt white light products. And what that means is that you're going to put all that onto your zone 2 and you're going to get on, off, and scheduling capabilities. You're also going to be able to dim them as long as the fixtures themselves are dimmable. Now, with this smart transformer, as an installer, what you're going to do is you're going to hit zone 1. You're going to hold down the preset button for 6 seconds. This is our initial install, right? You're going to hit that for 6 seconds. Everything's going to start blinking as it enters discovery mode. Once the fixtures are discovered, you're going to walk away, get a cup of coffee. You're going to be discovered. You're going to cycle through the presets and be able to verify that everything is working. In fact, you're even going to see an output indicator here that tells you what color you should be expecting from the fixture. Now, even though it's a Colorscaping fixture, it's still going to have that beam adjustment, that 20 to 60 degree beam adjustment that you're used to seeing on our WAC landscape products. Okay, now that you've verified that everything is working correctly, you're going to go ahead and scan a QR code up here. You're going to download the app, and you're going to start your commissioning process. So for that, let's shift over here, and I'll show you the commissioning process. Okay, so now it's time to commission our Colorscaping system. So first, let's talk about the pieces that are involved here. What does the full family look like? So down here on the bottom, you've got your RGB WW tape. Again, that WW is going to give you 27 to 5,000 Kelvin for the tape light itself. On the fixture side, we're going to get 27 to 6,500 Kelvin plus the RGB, of course. So you've got this tape light down here, which is IP66. It's got a brand new push fit connector, which is going to be water sealed. It's going to come up to a 25-foot max run, and it's a really nice tape light. You're also going to have these 3 different path light options as well. You're also going to have your hardscape that are aiming down here. That's going to be in a 7-inch or a 12-inch version as well. You got this accent light here that's shining up towards the wall. On this back side here, you're going to have a grand accent, so a larger version of that accent fixture that gives you 1,100 delivered lumens on white light. You've also got a wall washer hitting this wall. You've got 2 in-grounds back here shining up on the wall. You've got your power accent up here, again with 1,100 lumens, but a much higher color brightness. That's going to be your power accent. And then finally, you've got your little cylinder here on that column. Now, what you want to see here is a couple of different things. When we're talking about price point, you've got 20 to 30% adder over your standard legacy white light product. But what you're seeing here is the ability to overcome that hump. Obviously, we can do color. That's the beauty of the system, and I'll light that up for you in a second. But I want to talk through the white light story first. So if someone comes in and says, hey, I want regular products, I don't need RGB, I don't need all that. One way to get them into this system would be to show them how tunable this white can be so you can light their space perfectly. So for example, while this is at 3000K, you may want a warmer tone if this was a red brick, right? You might want a warmer 2700. You might want a 4000 Kelvin when you're lighting up an evergreen tree or down as moonlighting. Maybe you want a 5000K. This enables you to tailor the whites individually compared to what the application is down to the fixture level. And I'll demonstrate that for you now. So The second piece of this is going to be, so this is going to be that hardscape light right here. I just took up to a 6500 Kelvin on just the single fixture. And remember, all of these are wired in series. Okay, so I'm able to isolate and speak to each fixture individually, group it, and set it accordingly. Now that's on the white light. The next step would be adding splashes of color. So let's say you had a Japanese maple, and you wanted to hit it with a little tinge of red to really bring out that foliage. You can do that as well. The other idea that I think people have is that they don't necessarily want to live in this bright red, bright blue environment. They want something softer, a little more of the pastel. And so I like to look at something like this, which would be what I'm calling pastel purple, and dial it down, and all of a sudden this kind of muted light, this looks like an environment that people might be able to get behind, something that people would want to live in, right? And then your third application is going to be the one that everyone thinks of first, which is going to be your sports teams and your holidays, right? And for that, you're going to need a lot of punch, you need your brightness, right? And that's going to be, you want to have that punch, you want to have the uniformity of color across all the different types here. You see those white uplights, those are all on the legacy side. That's your 12 volt product that you've tapped onto that zone 2 of that transformer. Okay, so that's going to be your red, but it isn't just uniform on red. I'm going to show you here in green as well how vibrant, how rich that color is. I hope that's coming through on the video. You're going to see that blue here as well. Now again, I've been cheating, I've been controlling everything as a group, and again, just to demonstrate that you can isolate individual fixtures, I'm going to go back to just the hardscape one here and change that to a red. Now again, this is all at the commissioning level, so this is done through your phone or your iPad, but realistically no one's going to be using that for everyday use. This is just going to be for scene setup. So when you see a scene you like, you're going to set it, you're going to save it, and you're going to be ready to go. Now one thing is that I've been using these presets here. You don't have to use the presets. If you want to get more granular, you also have a color wheel option as well, so you can really hone in on exactly the color that you're looking for. And one step further, you can actually change the hue, saturation, your red, green, blue impact, and then you can also type in a hex value. So if you're working on a commercial project and you have a logo color or something like that, you can dial that in and get that color out the outset. Now once you have a scene saved, the way that the homeowner or user is going to experience it is going to be through our Scene WallStation here. So this WallStation can have 4 button presets. And so if I press this first button here, this might be how I want to come home at night. You know, largely they're going to be the white light. This is what I want to see on an everyday use. But when it's time for a 4th of July party, I'm going to go ahead and press my button, press 3, and I'm going to get my red, white, and my blue here. Okay, so I've changed different settings here. Kids pool party, they may want to see a sprinkle of every color here. They may want to mess around, and then we get this kind of Skittles approach. Okay, that's all through the wall control. It's going to be 120 volt direct to the wall control, and it's going to be a Wi-Fi signal that's communicating back to the router, back down to the transformer. So for network connectivity, the things you need to be thinking about is where's the wall control? Is it within Wi-Fi range? And where's the transformer? Is it either within Wi-Fi range or hardwired Ethernet? And with that, that's the Colorscaping product. Let us know if you have any questions.